bot from the 1 came out on this map. So I lean towards this feels like they're going to do something a little bit unusual here. Maybe we see the Alexstrasza pick again. Yeah. The Zul pick they showed us on this very map as well. Something feels a little bit fishy about this.
This is, in their own region, Luna Meow's significantly best map. So it could at least be going into some kind of comfort.
Which is kind of funny. It's like they talk before the match, like, you pick our map, we pick yours.
There you go.
What happened there?
Happy days. All right, let's get into it. Game number 2 here. Tempest goes up against Luna Meow, currently leading 1-0 for Tempest.
See how this one pans out. The Zul pick, as much as I love Zul, it's one of my favorite heroes, actually, despite the outcries of my teammates in Hero League. It just wasn't very impactful in that game.
One of these guys.
I am one of those guys.
Tychus front line, Zul next.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that series reveals more about Wolf's Hero League's pattern than it does about the two teams.
Sorry, Korean ladder.
Wolf's hero collection really has some skeletons in the closet. That's all coming out.
Well, I mean, you remember when Zul first was released? I went on like a 30-game win rate on that. Then I was addicted.
That's because it was broken as anything on release.
I know. I was addicted, though. The same thing with Void Rays back in StarCraft 2, but that's another talk for another time.
Gotta respect it.
Another game until we get a Void Ray in Heroes.
Oh, that'd be the best. I just want a flying hero.
The Sonya pick is actually one of the comforts for Tempest on this map. So I think this goes back into Tempest just trying to, I want to say experiment this series. It's almost like they've already beaten the game. They're replaying it on hard mode right now. They're trying to figure out how can we draft a little bit differently here, take away the Sonya, play for the different soul laner. This could end up being like one of their first Diablo games.
I mean, right now when you look at bans, there's immediately 3 heroes that come to mind. You talk about Garrosh, Maiev, and of course Malfurion. So you have to kind of think a little bit, what do you prioritize here? They ban Garrosh out again as they did in the first game, but that leaves now Maiev open for Tempest.
Yeah, Maiev's open. Tassadar are going to be taken here instead. So it looks like Tempest is trying to figure out, you know, if they can try to get Task Tracer or potentially another hero for double support with an early Tassadar priority. Great for taking out the defenders on this map. In Korea, historically, in the past, Tassadar was first pick for a long time. Even after the other regions stopped first picking him, Korea kept first picking Tassadar because he's so flexible. And in double support, he was absolutely fantastic. But this is just a flexibility pick, just like the first pick Malfurion.
I mean, you can still go into your Tracer composition. You have the option to play a double support Hanzo here quite easily if you want to. Depends a bit on what Luna Meow
or your favorite
now.
Vala.
But it's, yeah.
He's not shook that he forgot about Vala there.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, we've seen her a bit, and I actually think that a lot of the games, especially when Method played her with Strimby, were pretty close. But just in general, I think Vala is still very, very niche, and Vala would only be picked, in my opinion, if Hanzo is taken away, if they don't get access to Tracer, which could definitely happen. Then you have a few more options what he can flex into. But I think the 2 priority picks would have been the Tracer that is now eliminated, but I feel Hanzo is now a great pick for them.
I feel like this was a bait. I really do. Like, you take Tassadar first, then you're saying, okay, either you take the Tracer or we're gonna. So
yeah,
they have to have an answer to it.
That's exactly where my line of thinking is going with this Tassadar pick, because you're basically saying, oh, we're going Task Tracer. It's the only real viable double support right now. And so Luna Meow feels like they have to take the Tracer, but I don't think they needed to. They could have just simply allowed the Task Tracer to come through and try to counter it again. Clearly, Virgil Varian was not the way, but there are other ways.
The priority on ETC still continues, though. Taken very early here, and as mentioned before, he has now snuck into the pole position when it comes to the win rate on frontliners. ETC sits at 9 wins and 5 losses, so 64% win ratio. Just to give you guys a bit of a frame of reference here, Garrosh played a lot more, but only sitting at 46% of the win ratio, so roughly under 50%. So ETC doing extremely well, especially in the combos that he's currently played at.
I don't know if you guys can hear that. The Tempest very upset about that Illidan ban.
Yeah.
Well, it would have been fun to see Illidan come through here. It could have been Illidan Tyrael to close out the draft. Very possible on this battleground to run it like that. It would have been really fun as well, but not going to happen.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen like a TAS Illidan.
It used to be a thing.
It did back in the day.
2015, early 2016.
Yeah, Rhaegar with full Lightning Shield build, pre-rework with Tassadar as well, just all in. It was great. But down goes Blaze. That's interesting, because Luna Meow actually just don't play Blaze.
Right.
They almost have no games on Blaze even in their own region. They have almost all the other solo lanes covered except Blaze.
It's such a weird thing. And it's one of the best solo laners for a lot of the maps, and he's absolutely fantastic. He offers so much, the added layer for protection, the bunker, the wave player on the lane.
It means that, for one, like you said, Luna Meow needs to start practicing Blaze, but two, it means potentially that either Tempest has found them in Hero League practicing Blaze, which is a possibility as from the teams practicing, or they're just banning as if they're playing against another team to practice drafting.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just a safe ban, given the Leeming pick, the ETC.
I think that what plays a role here is you only have Malfurion for Tracer, so normally when you think about a Tracer composition, you immediately jump to Tassadar as a potential pick, and if you don't have that, a lot of teams try to substitute that with the layer of defense that Blaze offers with the bunker. We've seen similar approaches when Stukov is taken as a support. We have seen it with Deckard Cain as well, so I think that's one of the thought process that Tempest has here. Question still remains, how much does Tempest research Luna Meow? You know, do they even know that?
Yeah.
And they probably just look at this and say, hey, they play a Tracer composition, we want to make sure that they don't have an added layer of defense with Blaze, and Blaze also caters towards the map and the control that you're trying to have over the shrine as an objective. So let's just take that out as a possibility.
Blaze could also indicate some sort of other burst coming through, but you've already shown the Tassadar, so you have to get a support like a healer here, you would think. I don't think it's going to be solo support Tassadar, but it's just so weird to see Leeming and Tassadar on the same draft. That is just outrageous practically.
Really
oh, here we go. This is what I was saying. Here comes the burst. Here comes the CC. It's going to be Kerrigan and Uther. Old school.
Karla's Light, I expect, probably coming in from TAS for this.
You definitely have to think so.
Now,
still good on the shrines.
I'm slightly disappointed. If I've ever seen a game in a comp where you could have made a Butcher work, and I'm sure Jeho agrees with me.
No.
That
Oh yeah, and that's why they freaked out, or were upset about the Illidan, because they were clearly looking for Tassadar to be for the melee, for the double support that way, so Leeming could have this strong melee frontliner, so she could do the maximum damage. Double supports for the melee, not for the ranged assassin, as it has been, throughout the last recent meta. So this is very old. This is like 2016 spring.
Seeing as how good Kerrigan is on the shrine, I wouldn't mind seeing Tassadar going into the very old percentage damage auto attack build, and just seeing as Kerrigan is going to be quite the distraction, so potentially just burning down Diablo there.
Calder, why have you said that? We're not going to hear We're not going to hear the end of it for a few days now.
Of the hero that shall not be named any longer.
That one, yeah.
Yeah. No, but I mean,
It's the meat of the discussion.
God. Can we get rid of him?
We can flesh it out, like, maybe at some point.
I actually was thinking this needs a second support, and it's going to be the Rhaegar to close it out. You need a secondary cleanse, I think. I know it sounds crazy, but I think it's actually going to be quite helpful with the Nature's Cure to have a second cleanse there.
We ended up with Malfurion and Rhaegar.
Yeah, so you have insane wave clear with this as well, with solid frontline. The problem is the frontline isn't doing anything for your range damage, because your Tracer is not going to be doing decent poke damage, not going to be chunky. It needs to dive. How are you going to get onto a Leeming when there's this much CC? You're going to need 2 cleanses to get Tracer back there.
You're engaging into Uther, into Kerrigan, and you have an ETC there too. It's like...
Tracer's going to need some help.
Time for predictions, boys.
I think
it's a tough one. I agree.
It's so tough. I'm really struggling, but I think that the Tempest Maelstrom is going to be pretty good. I think it's going to be an absolute storm, so I'm going for Tempest.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Puns or no puns. This is definitely going to be an Ultraless game against Motherfucker.
Oh, I hope.
If only you could divine shield the Ultraless.
That would be great. Tempest it is.
Okay.
I'm all about the nostalgia. You could have 2015 Super League. You could have this exact same comp. 3 years later, we're doing it again. Okay, Tempest.
Yeah, Tempest. Yeah, let's see how the characters do. But now that you've mentioned it, I really hope Ultralisk.
There's no way.
I know there's no way, but I really hope.
Ultralisk Divine Storm, just CC him on the Ultralisk, just noms.
Look at that. Twitch chat is well on the Luna Meow train. Good job, guys. I appreciate that as well. That's nice. Let's check in reluctantly with the commentators, because I know one of them's already going to be slightly triggered.
Reluctantly? What? What's...
Gilly's
dare
fine, just the
you.
other one.
What? I think he's
all I
referring
heard
to...
was butcher, that whole freaking draft.
She joined in. Don't
I
let
did,
her
I
fool
did.
you. She
Yeah, that's
joined.
true. It's
I
'cause
think
I
you
also
actually
did it.
started it. You started the chant.
Yeah, you're right.
Wait, what? Oh, okay, so you're
Clara
both as bad as one another. All right,
Clara's
have some.
become the lamb to the slaughter.
Oh, no. Oh,
Furnace
have
blast,
fun,
buddy.
bye.
Bye. So a Kerrigan that was so scary it forced a double support.
Yeah, that's something that we don't traditionally see in the new meta, but I guess if it is going to be that double support, I guess Rhaegar's the dog. I was going to say that Rhaegar's the man, but Rhaegar's the dog. But yeah, we're going to have a brief moment before we do get into the game as we've got to resolve an issue here. But needless to say, Gilly, Kerrigan on Infernal Shrine's not the same as she used to be, but still pretty scary.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, I mean, obviously, we saw the Q build changes, and
Right.
it used to just be instant reset all over those shrines. There were some minor changes to the way that functioned. And now a lot of times it's more, you can still get away with it to a certain extent, but it's more about the team fight. And I think
Right.
it's something I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, you're looking more at like a Fury of the Swarm kind of build, maybe building into your blades as well. But we'll see what exactly Dami wants to be building into once we get into the game. Talking about, the combos, the team fights, there is the potential for a nasty combo from Tempest, which is why we see the double support from Luna Meow coming in, trying to deal with combo of Kerrigan into gigantic mosh pit from ETC. There's the Divine Shield there to enable whoever needs to be enabled from that, and then Leeming resets behind that.
If I'm Luna, I am ignoring that normal skirmish mid. Because the kill potential of a Kerrigan
Yes.
Leeming at level 1 is
ETC.
about as deadly as it gets. So, and you don't have cleanse there. So if I'm Luna, I'm probably going to ignore that because that is a terrifying prospect. And I just wonder how aggressive will Tempest try and push this. And with Luna, I mean, they are putting a lot of eggs into the Tracer basket to get the kills because they don't have a whole lot of damage otherwise.
Right, and it was not a Tracer that, as our analyst panel talked about, quite probably planned. It was in response to the first pick Tassadar, which I think, given the fact that, obviously this is Tempest trying to hide some strategies, trying to make sure that they are, they are already in a good place when it comes to the winners bracket in the next stage of this tournament. They are still trying to do some cool things and some fun things, and I love that first pick Tassadar because I know between that and the Sonya ban, it did cause Luna Meow to really think and consider what they wanted to do there, force them into the Tracer, and then had to have the Tassadar to enable something, and that being in the melee position instead.
Yeah, Sonya, it's one of the heroes that trades out really well into the Kerrigan. It's also something we know Luna loves to play. So definitely some target bans here. And that's one of the things about the tournament meta. You start to discover things. Look, on Saturday when we started, it looked a lot different. And then by the time, we're on our 5th day, bans and picks look I've seen you for the last 5 days. I've seen you killing it with this, and we're going to try and take that away from you.
Well, Luna Meow, too. Not quite sure that Sonya is as much of a preference for them, given the fact that they have decided to roll swap, as Tetra was alluding to.
That's true.
Yesterday, I believe, was the first time we saw that. Virgil switching onto the primary warrior role, and then KT4 playing the secondary melee instead. What do you... if I were to ask you, what prompts you to make such a drastic swap in the middle of a tournament like this? Do you have any good ideas for why that might have came in?
I wish I
know
knew, and
that's
I can tell you one thing. I'm going to be talking to Heroes Hearth about that as well because we've
Fair.
seen some big changes for them because, Arthon's been playing a little bit of the melee role, and we've had McIntyre obviously play a little bit on that ranged role, and I think it's more hero dependent on certain heroes that they want to have in.
Right.
And just for an update at everybody at home, we're going to get this game started. We're going to do a quick remake and get back into the game here to get things started. But yeah, the role swaps for me in particular are fairly interesting, I think, to get things... it's such a large tournament. It's such a large event. Obviously, it's not ideal, but maybe you've been practicing, maybe you've been preparing for it mentally, and then when the time comes, you got to be ready for it. I mean, it's like on-the-job training. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I think this is one of those moments where for Luna, they're going to learn a bit, and we'll see if they can, rebound and potentially make it to further tournaments and see if they can learn from this opportunity.
Yeah, they got some kills the last game, and we'll see what they can do versus this composition. First Kerrigan of the entire tournament. And on the topic of tournament meta and favored heroes, is there anything that has been surprising to you looking at win rates or pick rates, involvement rates of heroes?
Yeah, you know, if you were to ask me in 2015 and 2016 who the most popular international hero is that springs up out of nowhere, that always comes out and dominates, I'd be like, man, Zeratul kills it, right? And then 2017 was kind of double support, and Zeratul kind of went by the wayside. Same for Muradin, right? I mean, Muradin used to be so OP meta, and then obviously he saw some changes. Now all of a sudden, Zeratul seems to be like the new hotness. He's showing up in drafts, he's showing up in a lot of second bans, and I even was looking into it this morning. Zeratul's win rate on Volskaya in particular, a lot of it's been most popular on Volskaya, has actually had quite a bit of success. So it's been interesting to see the return of Zeratul now that we're not in the double support meta anymore.
I mean, that has been as long as pretty much Heroes has existed.
Yeah.
Him and Tyrael and their play, their counters, their soft counters to each other because of Sanctification and Void Prison. And I remember the first Eastern Clash of last year. We were like, well, you know what? We aren't seeing too much Tyrael or Zeratul, and then all of a sudden they're both in every single draft again. It's like every single international event we have, and I feel like that's primarily because they're just far more prevalent in the eastern regions, especially, you know, Korea. We've talked about Wind from China and how much he used to play Tyrael, and they always have the possibility of popping up. For me, it's been Thrall, man. And it's like not completely like where he's just getting picked more and more and more as we continue on. It was like one day, all of a sudden Thrall popped up a whole bunch. And then now he's conspicuously absent again. It's like, wait a second, did we realize he's so good we're going to hide him for the rest of the time?
I think that is the case.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering as well.
The tempo draft on Dragonshire, everybody's like, wait a minute, you can do that with Thrall? And then all of a sudden we start seeing Quacknick start picking up, and we're like, Quacknick's on Thrall. That's not something you see every day, and I think a lot of teams are picking up for that, as I believe we are hopefully ready here in the next few moments to get this game underway. I know everybody's probably anxious to get this game started, so looks like we're in the countdown phase, and cross our fingers, all goes well. We hop right into this bad boy.
Any other final heroes as we get the countdown ready? The loading bar is up. You could think of?
It's a lot faster than when I'm at home.
All right, well, we're almost there. I'd say Johanna's another one that I'm excited to see where she goes. And I'm saying that partially because Haku has made it known far and wide this tournament how much she loves Johanna, but also it seems like she's getting picked more and more. The smiles are there. Everyone's happy because we're ready to get into game 2 between Tempest and Luna Meow. J-How?
And for Tempest, they're going to be on the left side in blue, trying to close it out here on the final day of the group stages. It's going to be Lockdown on Tassadar, Sign playing ETC, Good on Li Ming, Hyde on Uther, and Dami bringing back the old school Kerrigan here on Infernal Shrines.
And all their hopes for a game win at the Mid-Season Brawl rests in Tracer. This is Luna Meow with Kem playing Malfurion, Bowie 005 on Tracer, KT4 playing Leoric, Virgil on Diablo, and Garnet Davil flexing over to the secondary support Rhaegar.
Well, I must say that I did not expect the Q build from Kerrigan. We've seen a lot of people go into that, you know, that sharpened blades, that getting into that impale style there. Instead, Q build, getting that, and you get the healing when you do kill the target, so definitely something that does work on Shrines, and also Diablo getting a little bit of a change up.
I think what's interesting given the Kerrigan is simply that Tempest has Li Ming played by Good, flexing over to that with Dami playing Kerrigan. Dami used to be, I believe, the melee assassin for this team back when he was on it before. Could have been... Oh, hold on. Power
That was
slide in.
a
Dami.
very good. I mean, he's going to go in, and Virgil's in trouble. I don't know why he's staying in there, but luckily Kim is keeping him alive. But that devastating charge, as Kerrigan was ravaging in, that was money.
Charges used by Bowie, and Virgil once again under fire from Team Tempest. But Tempest are just doing what they can to get a hold of these rotations, putting Lockdown in the solo lane as Tassadar so that they can continue to have a lot of kill pressure on Luna Meow with this Kerrigan composition.
Boy, if you're ever looking for something exciting to do, I can tell you laning as Tassadar is not one of those things.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, you're not killing anybody, and you're just going to hang out and be like, guys, is the objective spawned yet? Because I don't want to be here anymore.
Garnet Devil's hanging out here, trying to help keep eyes on this rotation from Team Tempest and where they're going. Both teams just going to work on getting some Mercenary Camp pressure out, and we are still about a minute out from being able to have the first Shrine phase. A little bit more. And from what, we've had from Tempest with this Kerrigan composition, it has not been overly aggressive for them, other than the one invade that didn't amount to a kill.
I'm just wondering, is it an untouchable game? Are you feeling it as Tracer to get that untouchable style going? I mean, burst damage against an Uther with the parting gift is not always guaranteed. It is the untouchable. I was going to say, you need more consistent damage, and albeit you have to stay alive and get kills to get this, I think it's there. And speaking of getting there, Virgil, he's not getting anywhere. And there's, and that's what I'm talking about. Dummy's health bar basically didn't move. He got healed and the armor right as the pulse wand went off, and it just kind of looked the same.
And we are seeing a Kala's Light this game. That makes quite a bit of sense. Kerrigan does get a lot done with auto attacks, but in this case, not having somebody like a Tracer that you're enabling for the Embrace for that. No Butcher, sadly.
Rip.
My good friend, maybe someday we'll get that.
Rich, if you are listening, do not forget you played it last year on Dragonshire, and I wouldn't mind seeing it again.
Yeah, we'll see. They don't have the easiest final match of their group, so I don't know if that's going to happen. Nice stun lock here, but there is still a power slide and some armor healing from Hyde as they attempt to turn this. It's all about the Shrine now for Dami and the rest of Tempest, so they'll have to back up. This is a Rhaegar flank.
Garnet Devil's like, let's go. And the rest of the team is like, yeah, not so much.
They have force back Tempest off the Shrine, so they're going to tie up in the Skeletal Defenders, though. But with taps, Tempest is ready to re-engage. Look for the combo.
Missing the combo, which means you've got to wait a while. We don't have level 7 for that bladed momentum, so they're going to stay on point. They are racing right now, Gilly.
25-19, and continuing to climb for both of the teams as Garnet Devil dives back in, low in mana. Kim fairly low too, but he seems to be doing okay. Dami is sitting right in the middle of everybody. Finally lands a combo there, and the pulse bomb missing. Sign power slide through, but Dami is in a lot of danger from this lockdown of Luna Meow, and they take out Kerrigan.
Yeah, you could see he was desperately trying to get back into position to find an opportunity to jump on one of those skeletal defenders on the left. Unable to do so. Sign forced to power slide out. Now Good just trying to get the last 3, but nice body block there by Kim to make sure that does not happen. They do confirm it, but at the cost of several members there on the side of Tempest. Luna Meow with the first to level 7.
3 lives, but 4 people committed to defending this Punisher without taking any structural damage. He's going to use the pulse bomb just to take it out as easily as possible. Are you okay?
Yeah, just ripping my headset off. Look, I'm going to say this, right? You got the Shrine, but there is some collateral damage. Remember, Tracer did go untouchable. That was 3 stacks for Tracer in there. So, Bowie, I mean, it's like giving yourself a disadvantage. We'll see if Bowie can maybe continue to stack this.
Or if Tempest can land their combos. Another pulse bomb, this time into a cleanse, but there's purely just body blocks from this giant Diablo body. That gets a kill. Oh no, you don't want to lose those stacks, Bowie.
Run, Bowie, run!
Keeps him alive.
Are they going to get more? Good is really low, and they are still fighting on this. Double support is keeping Bowie alive.
I think they might be able to get resets off of that, though.
No.
This is 7 Li Ming Calamity. There's 2 kills. Virgil's going to fall, too, giving another. And unfortunately, one of those lives was Tracer, and goodbye, untouchable stacks.
The entire time, Leo just chilling up at the top. That's somewhat of a saving grace there, as he's going to get caught in that Kerrigan combo. But Rip Tracer stacks, those are on reset themselves now, just like Good was doing. I'm backwards here. I'm not expecting Good on Li Ming. I'm like, why are you on Li Ming?
I agree. Should be locked down. Lockdown or bust. Tempest still ahead in experience. They've been able to get towers now with that Mercenary Camp and trying to climb up to heroic abilities. Putting some pressure here toward the bottom lane and this fort. Next Shrine's going to be mid as Virgil finishes up getting his souls. That'll be really nice for him.
What are the odds we get, I mean, D-Shield Kerrigan makes so much sense.
Yes.
But after last game, you got to wonder, are they looking to have a little bit of fun? Are we going to get a D-Storm? But I would
don't know. After how this early game's been going, I didn't get Divine Shield, J-How.
If it wasn't for, this game being fairly even right now, yeah, I mean, I would probably consider it. Garnet Devil, he needs to get a dismount on somebody, unable to do so, and that's going to be another takedown there. 5 kills to 4, though, overall. KT4 this entire time winning this top lane, keeping Luna Meow in the game.
Hide. Buddy. What are you doing?
He's holding it.
Hide. I think we're gonna see a mosh pit here. There's no APOC to interrupt, so you're mainly just relying on Twilight Dream.
Wait, Rhaegar's also hiding his.
I know.
You know those sick Leo auto attacks when you get that bloodlust is a thing.
Yeah?
No, it's not.
Okay.
But, you know, at this point, you need damage, right?
Yes.
I mean, Rhaegar gets value out of it. You know, Diablo can get some autos in there. Obviously, there's no untouchable.
Oh, I wish we had seen Malevolence plus Bloodlust. Think about it. No? Yeah, your face says it all, buddy.
I mean,
But not to the people listening at home because they can't see it.
that's probably a good thing. Well, look, we do got the mosh pit locked in, but we got a couple supports on both sides trying to figure out what they're going to go with as the Shrine active. Who's going to get this thing started? And here it goes. Dami, can you find the combo to get it all underway?
Hyde watching to see who steps forward, looking for that stun. Dami dives in. And now going to get stunned from that. Needs a cleanse. Divine Shield was picked. So was Bloodlust. Get ready for it. There's the Lightning Breath.
There's one takedown, though, as Bloodlust not able to keep Rhaegar alive. Dami getting so much healing off of those resets there. Leo's going to fall. Dami see if he's got another combo as he's getting lots of autos in. That's going to be Virgil getting the stun hammer down, and that is Soul's gone for Diablo. And Tempest starting to turn the tide in their favor.
Soul's gone, Bloodlust gone, and hopes for this Arcane Punisher gone as Tempest will be able to claim this no problem. Having lots of control over that fight, they're going to hold off on capping this until they can ensure that they have cleared out the lane to get maximum damage. That bot fort is fairly low too, so potentially a rotation after that down to just finish that off, or maybe to deal some damage up to the top to open up this map further.
Just see, we saw him dive on Battlefield of Eternity. Obviously a little bit different this one as the Punisher. If they get one person, whoever the Punisher jumps on, boy, somebody better be quick on that cleanse. That's all I know, because they will not be long for this world. And now with this middle gate open, let's see who gets it baited over. There's the power slide in. There, I believe, was the Nature's Cure.
Yeah, Rhaegar was down. Potentially considering that flank again, but now there's the other one used. KT4 taking punches to the face from this Punisher.
They survived that. They did really well there. I was really impressed with the way LM was managing to do that. However, Virgil in a little bit of trouble, uses that devastating charge out. The combo comes in though. Tracer gets taken down, and now the Punisher trying to do more.
Divine Shield saved after March of the Black King, plus the Bloodlust was hopeful to get some damage in. A nice setup Twilight Dream, though it nearly cost Kim his life and he had to back off from that. Tempest take out the fort, take out the front wall, move forward. They have 13 over Luna Meow with no Tracer for a few more seconds. They feel confident to stay here, trying to get more kills, maybe trying to end the game early if they can.
There are things that Luna Meow just did. Look, defensively, you're obviously losing quite a bit, but there are things that they did. If you're looking for that silver lining, hold on, we've got a mosh pit here as that is Virgil stuck in there and good, trying to get the takedown. But the healing's keeping Virgil up for now, but not for long. And now, Garnet Devil next to fall, and here's that court you talked about.
Yeah, I was talking about not a lot of mosh interrupts with Twilight Dream already down, taking out Diablo there with the mosh pit. Got another couple of stagger deaths for Tempest, but they're not feeling confident enough to end the game. Not yet, not with lower respawn timers. Even though they do have a massive lead here, they can just turn around. There are lots of mercenary camps to take. As I mentioned before, there is the bottom fort to take down too, to continue opening up the battleground and get an experience advantage enough that they feel more comfortable being able to win off of the fight. They know they have catapults pressuring Luna Meow for the rest of the game. It's their game to lose.
As I was saying, Luna Meow, obviously this is a very tough test in Tempest, but some of the quick reaction times that we saw in that defense, there were moments that you're like, hey, this is really good. This is what you expect from a top team. Obviously, Tempest very aggressive for this composition, able to make a lot happen, but Luna Meow showing signs here. They're only 2 levels down. I don't know if they can make it to 16 before the next Shrine phase. They obviously still have Leo doing a really good job keeping up with the soak in that top lane. Hopefully get some structures down, get back into this. But their moments, their windows of opportunity, getting smaller with every minute as Tempest starting to close out here on Luna Meow.
Luna Meow and Tempest in their final game of the Mid-Season Brawl group stage. As Tempest start to step forward, checking out to see if they can find anyone on rotation for a quick kill. More stagger deaths for Luna Meow. They will be content to take out that fort and just set up for this final phase. The next shrine, potentially final phase, the next shrine is going to be in the bottom lane. And so that's
trying to see if he can get somebody divided there. Kerrigan just going in here. Got to be careful. I mean, Kerrigan can initiate.
I was checking out untouchable stacks, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's 0.
It's a 0.
You know, for Malfurion, though, the Vengeful Root's actually at 20 stacks. It's actually pretty good for a competitive Heroes game. It's not too shabby.
84. He's going to march the Black King through. A lot of cleanses on either side, but he was low when he started that. Didn't get too much healing off of it. Combo hits Kim. Kim goes down. Now Dami with the Maelstrom is looking for more, has the Divine Shield. Buoy's in the back. Most of the focus seems to be on Diablo. Whoa, that's some eviscerate range right there. And the Wave of Force brings her back for another.
That 13 talent, it sneaks up on you. I mean, you go
It does.
flying. If you ever want to
I was like, jeez.
Yeah, I love it. That's the go-to. I mean, obviously we've seen some players go a different talent at 13, especially at level 4. But this is one where we're going full Q build to get in there. And Essence for Essence at 16. That is some killer single target damage and single target focus. And right now, Tempest, Stein, he's under no pressure.
You know, it's a very Dami-esque build. Thinking about Dami, trying to get in, gap closer. This feels right as a Dami build for Kerrigan. All right, 16 is nearby for Luna Meow. Likely can get it to defend versus this Punisher, but because of the great rotations from Tempest, the fort's already down here. So this is going to be heading straight to the keep structures of Luna Meow. There is no mid-keep to bait to, but they can try to bait back into taking some damage from the core at the very least and clear this out.
Kim and Garnet Devil have to be quick on that Cleanse and Nature Skewer. Sidewall going down again. When this thing jumps over, they will full collapse. There's going to be one Nature Skewer used. Very good start, but they've got a lot more to do here, Gilly.
Well, they also can use Wraithwalk from KT4 if they don't want to burn those, because what happened last time is they used both Wraithwalk, or both Cleanses and Wraithwalk, so that it ended up they didn't have any left for the follow-up. He didn't go into Wraithwalk though, and now that's problematic. He marched the Black King, but it's far too late.
Punisher starting to wreak havoc, and you can see Good getting a lot going there as there's going to be a Calamity takedown again, getting those resets. Virgil, he's just trying to buy time. There's going to be the Wave of Force. There's going to be the takedown, and now it's just a matter of cleaning house, because this is a formality at this point as Tempest starting to take down this game. As we get a look here as Tempest going to close out their group stage, taking down Luna Meow.
It's a pretty cool Wave of Force to put Baby in the corner just one last time when they take down Virgil. But that is all she wrote. Tempest bring down the core of Luna Meow, taking them out 2-0 with a mosh pit.
I heard the mariachi sound. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? And then I was like, oh, we got the whole mosh pit going there. But Tempest, you know, I think everybody coming into this series expected to get this win in a 2-0. You can give credit to Luna Meow in the early going. They actually, Tempest, it's not like they were taking them lightly in the early game. Luna Meow had signs in the early part of the game, but after that bottom camp, it just seems like at that point Tempest got their momentum going and never let up after that.
And although we say goodbye to Luna Meow now through the group stage, you could definitely see improvements for them, I feel, especially in this last series versus Tempest. But it's important to also highlight how far does Tempest go, because this is a team that traditionally on LAN for a long time now, ever since 2 years ago, we've had a lot of excitement for them, but not necessarily showing that true potential. And this year, they are showing that potential, so I'm very excited to see where they go from here.
Well, we're going to see where we go from here, as we're going to send it over to Calaris and team to close the series out.
Thank you very much, guys. Yes, the 2-0 for Tempest. After doing a little bit of mix it up in terms of the composition and what they were going to actually perform with, seemed to round things out. I thought it was actually going to end a little bit earlier there, and we were already raring to go, and then they decided to back off from the core and take a bit more experience, I suppose.
I like the commitment by Luna Meow going for a Bloodlust. I think they maybe, although I would have preferred, if you're going to commit to that, a Malevolence build could have been pretty fun on Diablo. If you're going to go for it, then you might as well go all the way for it. But instead, the Bloodlust was And as you mentioned,
It was a disengaged bloodlust.
defensive bloodlust.
Yeah.
Not a something you're really used to hearing.
That movement speed came in quite handy when they were trying to disengage. It saved 2 of the heroes. So it's a bit of a different approach that I can definitely respect. But yeah, I mean, the team's just having a bit of fun there. And it
Oh
was
yeah,
pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the standout. That's the standout, man. Dami's playing Kerrigan. You know this is a fan service game for the Korean fans. This is not about anything else. If Good's playing Kerrigan, it's a real game. It's Dami. This is just for fun.
I'd like to point out that that was potentially the bravest play I've ever seen. Picking Untouchable into Tempest.
Yeah, that was
That is
bold.
the bravest move I've ever seen in Heroes.
And then we had the fight at the bottom camp, which
that was
already
that was potentially too brave.
too brave. Too brave. Wolf, what do you have for us?
It's just a small little replay. I want to talk about Hyde again because he's playing Uther and he's just an amazing support. So watch Kerrigan here as Kerrigan's going to get first cleansed, then pulsed here right afterwards. The Divine Shield, pause it here.
Wow.
Divine Shield's perfect. He goes in, and he's going to be messing up a bunch of stuff over here. If we could go back for a second, I also want to point out one small play here from Sign as well. Watch Kim. We could go back a little bit further, actually. Okay, never mind. Sorry. There was something else I wanted to look at. I must be thinking of a different replay. Watch Kim fail, okay? Okay, no, there we go. It is in this replay, yeah. So this is when Kim actually gets interrupted with the face melt there to interrupt the silence he was looking for. Then he walks into the mosh there. I mistimed that. Anyway, you can see the damage is coming in here from the lightning breath, but it's mostly just Dami CCing everybody. Lockdown's got Archon. Everybody dies. And sorry, it was a pretty sloppy replay there by me, but I just wanted to point out the Divine Shield most of all on Hyde's Uther. This was a game where I was looking for good replays, and there weren't too many amazing moments, to be honest with you guys.
You caught the first Bloodlust, though, in the replay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was when it hit Diablo and Leoric, so max value out of that situation. Yeah, panic button from Rega, who said, like, I'm dying anyway, so just throw it out.
At least you tried. I appreciate it all the same. Well, thanks. It was good. It was good. We are obviously here going to be moving on as well. We're going to hear from an interview as Heku is ready with Tempest. How do you enjoy Tempest's dominance in that series?
James, I don't want to sound like a beast, but we probably could expect that. The second seed from Korea and a minor region. Well, we know that Luna Meow is already out, but Tempest will go to the winner's bracket. Congratulations with such a dominant performance from all the teams that you got to play against. Which ones surprised you and which one disappointed you?
이번 그 조별리그에서 경기를 많이 했는데 어느 팀이 좀 기대 이하였고 어느 팀의 경기력에 좀 놀랐나요?
기대 이하였던 팀은 없고 저희가 히어로즈 하스라는 팀한테 1세트 따였는데 질 생각을 안 하고 있었는데 한 세트 져서 거기서 좀 놀랐던 것 같습니다.
So there weren't any teams that were under expectations, but the team Heroes Hearth, they went into the match thinking, they're going to win it, but they lost the first map. So yeah, they're like, man, better than they thought.
Yeah, you're mentioning Heroes Heart, but like in your opinion, what happened in that game? Why did you lose it?
그러면 히어로즈 하스 팀이랑 그 비겼는데 1경기를 졌던 이유가 뭔가요?
그게 저희 팀원들도 다 잘했는데 뱀픽이 조금 힘들었던 것 같아요. 네.
He thinks like everyone on the team actually played well, but the drafting was kind of tough.
Oh, okay, but hopefully further you have like absolutely no problems. For the group stages, you are pretty much done, but the next match will be Genji versus Tempest, 2 teams that played in the finals of the Eastern Clash, right?
Ballistics?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, it was Ballistics and Genji. You're absolutely right. But they still played in the finals of Eastern Clash. So my question is, do you think that Ballistics will have like problems getting a game versus Genji? Because they are right now the 3rd seed and they lost to Tempest. What do you think will be the result?
다음 경기가 발리스틱스랑 그 젠지 경기인데 한국에서 굉장히 잘하는 2 팀이잖아요. 그러니까 어떻게 결과를 예측한다면 어떻게 될까요?
둘 다 너무 잘하는 팀이라서 진짜 다음 경기 저도 볼 건데 너무 재밌을 것 같아서 근데 지금 폼이 너무 젠지가 좋기 때문에 젠지가 이기지 않을까 생각합니다.
Yeah, I mean, like it's a huge match, and he's gonna enjoy watching it. And if he needs to predict it. Right now, Genji, their form is better, so he's predicting them to win if he had to.
Okay, and you expect to face them in the finals?
그러면 그 결승에서는 누구랑 붙을 거라고 예상하나 그러면?
결승에 올라가게 된다면 아마 젠지 팀이 올라올 것 같아요.
If they do meet in the finals, it'll probably be Genji.
Okay, I'll not delay you any longer. I'll see you in Sweden. But for now, we're going for some Korea on Korea. Boys, back to you.
Thank you very much, Heku, of course. And yeah, we see Tempest there. And obviously, they are one of the big favorites to be able to make it through to the final stages here of the tournament. But next up, of course, Gen.G versus Ballistics.
It's going to be a good one. Could be a precursor to the finals. Obviously, Good is hoping for otherwise, that Tempest will be there.
Of course.
Well, you always have to say it when Korea versus Korea in the group stage if you do end up having a tournament that has 3 Korean seeds, because usually they get split. Always could be the prelude to the finals. I think it's going to be a fantastic series if Gen.G is looking to win it. If Gen.G is looking to hide strategies, it could still be fun. We could see some crazy picks, but my hope is that they try hard and we do get that prelude.
Well, let's check in with the groups, of course, and Tej, you can kind of talk about what you want it to be for.
Yeah, exactly. This is the best place to do it as well, because in this matchup, a 1-1 between the two teams is the only score that does not result in us having to do a tiebreaker match. If Gen.G win 2-0, then Ballistics have to tiebreak against Tempo Storm. If Ballistics win 2-0, then it's a tiebreak against Gen.G. They will have to play them again at the end of the day.
Yeah, so all important there, of course. And then on the Group B side of things as well, there is a potential tiebreaker situation, which will evolve down the line here once we get into another series with Heroes of Hearth, of course. So overall, though, Kaldor, excited for Gen.G versus Ballistics?
Rumor has it that there is a former Code A duo going to cast Korea versus Korea, so I'm pretty excited about that.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. That makes sense. I like that. I like that. And with that, gentlemen, we shall go to a break here for the Mid-Season Brawl. And when we return, the good old Code A duo back, as we're going to have some Korea versus Korea. It's going to be good. Don't go anywhere. Hi guys, Kyle Aris here. Make sure to cast your vote for which Battlegrounds you want to see the 2 All-Star teams play here at the Mid-Season Brawl. Choices are down below.